You have volunteered to testify at the trial, correct?
Not as of yet. Actually, I was subpoenaed.
Okay.
So my attorneys work.
In a recent discussion surrounding the high-profile trial of Sean Diddy Combs, one name that keeps surfacing is Al-B. Sure, the R&B artist whose personal history with Combs and the late Kim Porter has drawn intense scrutiny. During an interview segment, the conversation turned to Al's involvement in the legal proceedings. When asked if he had offered to testify voluntarily, Al clarified that it wasn't his choice at all. He explained that he received a subpoena, and his legal team negotiated the details to ensure everything proceeds appropriately. He emphasized that he's open to sharing his perspective at the appropriate moment, after consulting further with his lawyers. The interviewer pressed gently, confirming his willingness, and Al responded affirmatively with conviction, stating he is absolutely prepared to do so. As the talk shifted, breaking developments from the courtroom emerged. A jury had been seated in Combs' trial, and opening arguments were underway. Prosecutors outlined their case, portraying Combs as the leader of a vast criminal enterprise that leveraged his celebrity status and wealth to perpetrate sexual abuse against both women and men. This set the stage for Al-B's potential testimony, which could prove pivotal. Observers noted that Al has maintained a consistent narrative over the years, never wavering from his accounts. He once shared details publicly in what he described as an effort to protect himself, crediting his former partner, the late Kim Porter, for her foresight. Porter had repeatedly urged him to stay vigilant and protect himself, though at the time he couldn't grasp the full weight of her warnings. Al's history with Porter runs deep, crediting her well-known relationship with Combs. They share a son, Quincy, and Porter even inspired one of Al's hit songs, Forever My Lady. Al has gone further, claiming they were married, a revelation he first made public during a Fox Soul interview. He reflected on how, as a grandfather now, he sometimes forgets the boundaries of social media, posting impulsively about personal matters like his ex-wife Kimberly without delving into the private aspects of their union. He honors her memory sporadically, keeping those intimate details close. Even after their separation, Al and Porter preserved a cordial bond, which has fueled his persistent belief that her death in 2018 was no accident. When pressed on whether he accepts the official ruling of pneumonia as the cause, Al dismissed it outright. He insisted she was in peak condition just days before, recounting a joyful family gathering to celebrate Quincy's new Netflix Christmas special. The event brought together Porter, Al, Combs, the children, and others in the Netflix lobby, filled with laughter and lighthearted moments. Al recalled playfully interacting with Combs while Porter watched from afar, signaling him to ease up. It was a rare moment of harmony amid the underlying tensions. Al views this as a key reason to finally air his experiences, especially since major networks have approached him for his story. He believes the truth will surface through his testimony, countering years of dismissal. Tensions between Al and Combs were never subtle. Al has long asserted that Combs misrepresented his role in Quincy's life, falsely implying adoption when Al remained actively involved as a father. Their connection traces back to Mount Vernon, where paths first crossed in the music scene. Al's social media reactions have amplified these strains. For instance, when a headline from Extra TV highlighted Porter's alleged diary entries exposing Combs' secrets, Al posted a pointed caption. He recalled the period from 2009 to 2018, when skeptics labeled him unhinged for his warnings, urging him to step back. On the day of Porter's passing, he echoed similar pleas, but authorities brushed him off, even suggesting he seek mental health support. Al highlighted how law enforcement ignored urgent messages from Porter, who had implored him to stay safe. Adding layers to his narrative, Al linked Combs to his own 2022 health crisis, a coma induced by multi-organ failure. In a March 2024 statement, he hinted at foul play, teasing a forthcoming documentary that would unravel the events leading to his collapse. He dramatically warned that the revelations might necessitate Homeland Security's involvement, alluding to violent incidents, including an assault where someone allegedly tried to dismember him. Al described Combs as inherently jealous, incapable of genuine love, and controlling of Porter's relationships. He alleged that while Combs pursued his desires freely, any romantic interest Porter entertained faced sabotage. Al's vigilance dates back further. In November 2021, he posted about Porter fleeing some threat in the days before her death, initially advising her to reach out to the FBI, a detail he later edited to say she was training for a marathon. He shared footage from the morning he learned of her passing, capturing the raw devastation that ripped the soul from his body. Dismissing the pneumonia narrative as fabricated, He tagged Combs directly, reiterating the Netflix celebration where Porter appeared vibrant. This consistency underscores his credibility even as the trial looms. Reflecting on the journey, Al spoke of enduring over a decade of ridicule from authorities and the public. When he first raised concerns about sex trafficking tied to Combs, he was met with incredulity and suggestions of delusion. Ironically, he later learned some officials might have been compromised. Supporters argue Al's position as Porter's ex-husband and Quincy's father grants him unique insight, especially amid the recent indictments against Combs. A figure known as John Paperwork has petitioned to reopen Porter's case, amplifying calls for justice. Al's advocacy stems from enduring love for Porter's memory and a quest for closure given the suspicious circumstances. She seemed fine the previous day, yet was discovered deceased from pneumonia, a diagnosis that strains credulity for someone of her means and health. Echoing this sentiment, a podcast guest questioned the plausibility. With Porter's estimated $12 million net worth, she could summon top medical care or an ambulance at any hour. No one in the public eye buys the official story unquestioned. The anomalies abound. Al's memoir, Do You Believe Me Now?, set for fall release, promises unfiltered accounts of his encounters with Combs, including potential ties to his coma. He revealed facing backlash and even a bounty after going public, yet his subpoenaed testimony is driven by authenticity, not publicity. Delving deeper into Porter's death, unresolved elements persist. Reports of blood on pillowcases, a trail leading from the bedroom to the bathroom, and her body found on the floor rather than in bed, suggesting possible staging. The initial coroner reportedly flagged a toxin in her system indicative of foul play. Her last 911 call at 2:43 a.m. contrasts sharply with discovery at 11 a.m. the next day. Whispers suggest her family contemplated a wrongful death suit against Combs, armed with evidence. Al's persistence makes sense in this context. He's long voiced these doubts. Curiously, many from Combs' early circle have met untimely ends. Porter started at Uptown Records as Andre Harrell's assistant, outlasting most. Harrell and Heavy D, both key figures, died of heart attacks, Heavy D found face down. Porter's pneumonia ruling fits a pattern, as does Al's near-fatal coma. Each was reportedly crafting a project, Harrell and Heavy D on books, Porter on a memoir, Al on a documentary. Speculation swirls that Porter's unpublished work detailed shielding Al from Combs' dangers, warning him off certain spots due to her intimate knowledge of his volatility. In a poignant aside, Al addressed Cassie Ventura, Combs' former partner and a key accuser. He vowed support akin to what he offered Jennifer Lopez, citing a crucial pre-death conversation between Porter and Cassie. Porter's wisdom, he claimed, preserved Cassie's safety amid the chaos. Porter's alleged manuscript, if authentic, exposed Combs' abusive tactics: isolation, manipulation, coerced compliance, surveillance via wired homes and tapped lines, and paid watchers. She resisted his bid for full custody of their twins, threatening exposure. The book purportedly tackled broader scandals: East-West Coast rivalries, Tupac and Biggie's murders, music rights disputes, and Combs' rumored male entanglements, including exploitative ones with figures like Usher. Al touched on this sensitively, recalling Usher's Club Shay Shay appearance praising Combs' mentorship. Yet whispers from that era suggest a situation landing Usher in the hospital. Another revelation: Dallas Austin's daughter, a friend, was at Porter's home the day she died, departing around 8 a.m. per police reports, sourced from Porter's father via the paperwork party. Porter's 2:15 a.m. 911 call remains enigmatic. What transpired in those hours? From 8 to 11 a.m., bruises appeared, items vanished, including her iPhone, odd for someone glued to it. No cloud data recovery, no Find My iPhone trace. Al decried the superficial probe. Detectives skipped viewing the body, as the coroner deemed it natural causes prematurely. Documentation notes a pre-death hour-long massage, absurd for severe pneumonia. Al's no novice. His security ramp-up is prudent. Shifting to trial evidence, witness Tony Busby discussed 8 videos from 11 flash drives, allegedly sourced from Porter, depicting Combs with celebrities in compromising acts. Busby, post-grand jury, shared constraints but confirmed 2 males appeared near or underage. All 8 seemed impaired by substances. All qualified as victims, not instigators. 2 to 3 might have been minors, aligning with civil suits, though Combs faces no such criminal charges yet. Only racketeering and prostitution transport for adults. A superseding indictment could alter that. BuzzFeed tied the drives to Porter, fueling death conspiracy theories, though officially debunked as pneumonia.